Alright guys, Hazing here, welcome back to the channel for another Dislyte video. So in today's video, we are going to talk about a bit of a hot button topic. It's something that I've seen spoken about quite a lot. I've seen other creators talking about it in a content creator chat that I'm a part of. I've seen members of my Discord talking about it, and there's a bit of conflicting views. Some people think one way, but then when you speak to them about it, you can kind of see why it's like this. And that is going to be this. Going to be talking about stamina. Is stamina an issue? Okay, so first of all, we are going to look at what you need to use stamina on, because I feel like it's important to really just ascertain exactly what you're using this for every day. Okay, so if you've got characters you want to level, how are you going to level them? You're going to use stamina. Okay, obviously you're going to go into story, you're going to run the story stages, or you're going to run the practice stages, which are probably the best thing that you could actually run, to be honest, as you get a great stamina payoff. But depending on where you are in the game, or maybe from the start, I don't actually remember because I'm on purgatory now, it costs you 10 stamina to run these stages. Okay, so very quickly you could deplete your stamina fully. Okay, as well as that, you've also got to get materials, and for leveling your characters up or getting them the strongest they can possibly be, you want to go in and do things like the Sonic Miracle. Doing the Sonic Miracle also costs you stamina, and clearly if you want to actually get your characters as strong as they can be, you need to do these, you need to unlock these things here. Okay, and you're going to burn through your stamina pretty quickly doing that as well. Everything else in the game pretty much has stamina usage. You've got Ritual Miracle. If you're going for your equips, you're going to have to use stamina to get them. If you're doing the Infinite Miracle, you're going to have to use stamina to get them. Obviously people can see right now that I'm struggling to get past level 10. The only thing in here that you don't need stamina for, and actually it might be the only thing in the entire game, is Cube Miracle. You get to do that for free. You don't need to use stamina for that, but that's once every 2 days, so it's not really a lot to keep you going. Okay, you do not need to use stamina to do Point War. However, it does have its own kind of stamina system where it has these tickets, these admission certificates. Let's be honest, they're basically stamina, but they're a different type of stamina, so that's a whole other ball game. It's just another resource that you have to tap into if you want to continue to play the game. Now, this brings us to the question: is stamina an issue? Okay, now I'm not 100% sure what people's issue is with stamina. There seems to be two issues. One issue is it costs too much to refresh it. Okay, you get your first one for 60, and then I think everyone after that costs you 100. Okay, when you refill stamina, it doesn't refill, it just gives you a set amount. Okay, which again is a little bit disappointing. I feel like if you're going to pay 100 for stamina, it should just be a stamina refill, give you your full amount back. Okay, I feel like some people that would address their issue. That would be enough to placate them and make them happy. More people seem to be annoyed about the fact that stamina is capped, however, and I do feel like there's a reason for that. Okay, now let me explain. I've made content for quite some time for another game called The Sky RPG, and we used to have like content droughts and stuff like that, and it wasn't stamina that was an issue there, it was running out of content, and you have to wait to the following month for more content. And I feel like it kind of lends itself to the same opinion. As a content creator, I used to complain about it like a lot. I also used to have people on my Discord who were the hardcore players. They still are the hardcore players who play more than the average player. They would complain about it. However, my YouTube following has a lot of casual players, and a lot of the people who don't frequent Discord and a lot of people who just play these games are what I want to call more casual players. Now I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, I just mean compared to like myself and other content creators and really hardcore people who play the game non-stop. Okay, these people have jobs, they have lives and families. I mean, I've got a life and a family, but they don't have time. They don't even get through all of their stamina. Okay, ultimately this is pretty much who this game's marketed at. The game is marketed at people who are working, who are out earning money, because do you know what, at the end of the day, those people are the guys who are more likely to spend, because if you've got money you can spend money. And I'm not saying if you're free to play you've not got money, that's not at all what I'm suggesting, but obviously it's just a fact that if you are working in a job, you have got a decent amount of money, you are more likely to use that money on more frivolous things like downloading a new PNG and a gacha game. I mean, let's be real here, I don't think I'm saying anything that's controversial there. Now, those players do not have an issue with stamina. The only people that have an issue with stamina is people who generally have the chance to no life this game, okay? Even if you do use all of your stamina refills, it's going to take you a few hours a day to go through them all, okay? Someone might come and say to you, oh, I can go through my stamina in like an hour. No, you can't. No, you can't. It's going to take you a few hours to go through all of your stamina refills in a day, okay? Because you can run the practice stage probably, what, 18 times if you're max level, and doing that is probably going to take you at least I want to say about 20 minutes. That's been a bit generous saying it's going to take you about maybe just over a minute and a half each time to do it. Now, even if you did that for every stamina refill, that's still going to take you a few hours a day, okay? So I don't think that to most people it is actually an issue, and part of the reason why they've actually capped it, if you ask my honest opinion, if they had completely uncapped it and people could just constantly run EXP gates, if they could constantly level the Starmon, if they could constantly non-stop, just completely as much as they wanted, run rituals for equips, and if they could non-stop run Sonic Miracles for the materials to ascend your characters, what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. Every single character in their box is going to be up at level 60 within a couple of days, okay? What that's going to do is that's going to make things like Point War completely pointless to most average players. It's going to take things like Hollow Battle that they're about to introduce for clubs. It's going to take them and give a severe imbalance and make it so that people who have just basically no life and non-stop filled up their stamina, it's just going to give them teams that are just constantly able to be changed around. If one thing's not working, great, I can just quickly change to this because I've got XYZ leveled, and they're just going to dominate, and it's going to put off most players. And when they're building a game, they have to make it accessible, they have to make it not be a turn off. And to be honest, if free-to players don't even have the hope that they can compete, they'll give up. They don't want to play, they don't care. They'll start to say that this game is just for whales, okay? And to be honest, that's not really a reputation you want your game to get, okay? So I personally would like to have no stamina cap. However, I do not think that we have a problem with stamina. I think there's a solid reason why they've done this, and honestly, I think that maybe, and I'm not telling people what to do, it's entirely up to you. I think maybe a better thing to do is have more than one game. Like, when you've run out of stamina, if you don't want to be spending your crystals all the time refilling it, or if you've got to the end and you go, oh my god, I can't refill it anymore, play a different game for like 2 hours, let your stamina refill back up, then come back in, use your stamina, play a different game. That's what people tend to do. I'm not saying all gacha players, but a lot of gacha players have more than one gacha game, and they tend to kind of use each game to balance out the gaps in the other game. So if one game you've got like your characters are tied up in a mission for 4 hours, you go and play the other game for 4 hours, then you go back and then you finish up what you're doing. That's what a lot of people tend to do. I feel like when they make these games, they kind of design them to do that. People will say stuff like, oh, but you've not got that problem in Genshin, you can keep playing. You can't. I mean, you can't. Once you've done everything in Genshin, there's no much you can do. You just potter around the world getting bored, you know? No game has infinite content, so basically in every single game you're always going to have downtime, and with that downtime people generally jump onto something else and they wait for the downtime to disappear and then they go back and do whatever it is they had to do. So in my opinion, while I think they could make the stamina system slightly better by making refills actually refill, That's the one change I would make. I don't feel that the stamina cap is an issue because, like I say, it would just cause a massive imbalance in game, and people would just level everything, and then they don't even need to worry about thinking about what their next move is, because as soon as something doesn't work, they've got it all sitting there ready to go immediately. Now, clearly that over time, that is something that people are going to do anyway, because over time you will be able to level up all your characters, but remember, we're only 2 weeks in. 2 weeks in, people should not have boxes right now where all of their characters are leveled past level 60, unless they're on the other server, okay? But on this server, it shouldn't be the case. So, in my opinion, is stamina an issue? No, it's not. It's not. If you do not agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. As always, I'm Hazink, and I'll be back with another Dislyte video in the very not too distant future. Bye!